Hi everybody, how you doing? I hope everybody's well tonight. I still have my cold, but I still wanted to come and talk, so forgive me with my voice tonight. So you guys, I wanted to tell you a few things tonight. I know there's a few things going on, but nothing, groundbreaking or anything. But first of all, I want to welcome my new subscribers. My name's Patty, and I'm really glad that you're here. And I talk about the Summer Wells case for now. And when this case is closed, then I could talk about other missing children and people. But for now, I am dedicated to Summer Wells all the way. There's a lot of drama going on in the YouTube streets. It's like tit for tat. You said this, I'll say that. You did this, I'll do that. Creators fighting with one another. But this is what I gotta tell you from personal experience. I cannot watch a lot of, not even much of these drama channels, okay? Like, Miss Daisy's one of them. And sometimes Prayer Garden, even though I like Prayer Garden, I'm not saying anything bad. But I'm saying to you that creators who yell and scream or get real, I don't know, agitated, it agitates me. And it gives me anxiety. And I don't like it. So I try to ignore those channels and really not pay much attention to them. The more you pay attention to those channels, the bigger they grow. And so, just take it easy on yourself and be careful, what you follow. We're always what we take in, you know what I mean? If we eat something, our diet, whatever we eat is our body condition, And so whatever we take in the mind and in the soul is a diet. And sometimes you don't want to feed yourself a lot of negativity. So I know this is how I feel about Miss Daisy. Miss Daisy, I'm sorry to say, you have a lot of drama going on over there. You're always getting mad at people. It sounds like heckling hens over there. And once in a while, you got a couple people who get on there and pray. But for the most part, it's really a lot of drama and a lot of yelling and a lot of trying to get back at other people who are talking nasty about you. I don't know why you pay attention to them, Miss Daisy. If it bothers you, what people are saying, you're obviously watching them. And another thing, Jody Sue, you do the same dang thing. You obviously must watch all these different channels so you can hear whatever's going on, because you seem to get mad at all these people all the time. It's nonstop. It drives me crazy, Jody Sue, that you're always the victim of someone. It's just constant. And you've never really even shown me any receipts that you are being harassed or you're being bothered, but you sure carry on. And you like to cut down other creators. Well, people like to look at you the same way. So, I don't understand why you get so triggered, Jody Sue, and why you're even involved in this case. And to be honest with you, Jody Sue, I never suspected you that much at first, but now I do, because I don't understand any person being so involved and inserted themselves in a missing child case. And everything you say and do is suspicious. Like, you talk about being in the water and you know to keep the scent down, and you're searching before anybody else is searching. You're out there searching for a missing child because you say you heard a scream. Well, Jody Sue, Brandy Gray has a video on her channel where it shows that you were videotaping out in your yard and towards the neighbor's house down in Candace, which we want to know why you felt the need to record that. And this was before Summer missing, and it's very triggering because you can hear Summer crying in that video. This is on Brandy Gray's channel. So anyways, Jody Sue, I mean, you're so suspect, everything you do. And I'm not trying to be mean to you or rude to you, but the fact that you are up all night wanting to be on YouTube and day, and you never do anything, and you're always, I don't know what you're doing, but you're very suspicious to me. And you know what they always say, the people that are closest to the case, those usually are the ones that are doing something. So Jody Sue, you really seem suspicious to me. So that's all I'm going to say about you, Jody Sue. And, well, and also the fact.
Story was that they gave to
the fact is that you've lied quite a bit. But anyways, you guys, Jody Sue, Brandy has a video of Jody Sue, and you can see the yard, and you can see, I don't know, it was in her window, maybe a bird feeder or something. But anyways, you can hear poor Summer crying, and it's very triggering. But anyways, I think Jody Sue erased it, but thank God for Brandy, she kept it. So you guys, I've been watching, I cannot believe, I think that Brandy Gray is one of the best creators on YouTube because she is serious about this. She's not into drama. She's not into playing games. And I like that about her because I don't feel like doing that either. I noticed that if you talk really bad, yell at the parents, scream and holler, use a lot of profanity and just nasty talk, then people really like that. I mean, I cannot believe how many people will follow those kind of channels. But you know what? That's fine. You know what I mean? The thing is that it's just amazing to me. But I cannot handle them kind of channels. And so I used to have a lot. I still have it sometimes. Post-traumatic stress disorder. And my anxiety levels will go up when if there's a lot of crying, if there's a lot of yelling, certain things really trigger me. And so I can't do that. Like I cannot watch a movie that has a baby crying in it because of my own post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have a hard time. I like some of these people. I like their, some of these channels. They're all right. But I'm saying I can't do it for my own anxiety, okay? So anyways, you guys, because I think this is serious. A little girl missing is serious. And I'm not on this channel to cut down Don and Candace, and that's not my goal. It's never been my goal to trash the parents, okay? But we all know that both of them are very suspicious. We all know that they have lied, changed the stories, and that's a fact. And they can say, no, they didn't, but we know it's a fact. Their stories have changed many times. And I want to tell you that Brandy Gray does an excellent job with her videos. And I'm going to take a couple of her clips tonight of her videos that she did like a year ago. But I think they're really relevant. And I don't think she got enough views, you guys. She needs more subscribers because I'll tell you what, she does a great job with her videos, putting them together, explaining herself and what's going on and what she thinks. So please subscribe to her. And all credit goes to her for these clips that I'm going to use under fair use. Brandy, I'm going to make sure that I push that everybody comes to your channel. I think you should have more awareness. And I think you're very intelligent. And I think you figured out some stuff already. So I'm impressed, you guys. And I power watched almost all her videos on Summer Wells because they were that good. And I recommend that you do the same. But I want to talk to you about something here tonight. And I want to discuss her video here. The name of the video is The 10th Month of Summer Wells Investigation. Where are we? She did this a year ago. And I'm at the 8:29 mark, I believe that is. And I want you to hear this part of the conversation and this timeline, okay? With Don and Candace in the inconsistency. So here we go. Under fair use, this is just for discussion only. Listen to this.
World. So Don's original statement and also what he told Dr. Phil was that Candace called him at 5:30 to tell him that she couldn't find Summer. Well, we know now that he later changed that story and now says that it must have been 6:30 when she called him. Okay, here is my issue with that. So 911 was called at 6:26 p.m. or 6:29, right? Or maybe both. So if Candace called Donna at 6:30, then that means she called 911 first. But that's not how the story goes. The story is that she called Don first and that he instructed her to call 911. So that don't add up. And the other thing is that Don says that he got home around 7. But if Candace called him at 6:30 and he was all the way out in Jonesboro working, it's if you get on Google Maps and get the directions from Ben Hill Road to Jonesboro to the Meadows where Don was working, you will see that he didn't get there in 30 minutes. And he said he loaded the tools up also before he left work. So he had to take time to do that. Plus he was in the rush hour traffic, the work traffic, right? Because after 5, between 5 and 7 or so, you've got people getting off work, going home. There's no way Don made it in that time frame. The time is off. It's not right at all. And let me tell you something else that isn't right about the time frame there around that same time. So the neighbor, Jody Sue, she says that she saw Candace come down the hill looking for Summer at 6:09 p.m. Right? Many of you that have been following the case and have followed Jody Sue's stories and videos know that she said that. Now, the thing about that is, as the story goes, the story that we've been given was that Candace noticed Summer was gone. She then called Dawn first, right? Still at the top of the hill. She calls Dawn. And supposedly this is at 5:30 or 6:30. We'll go with 6:30 since that is the last story that we've received. Matter of fact, let's test both of those times, starting with 6:30. So Candace calls Dawn at 6:30, right? And Dawn says call 911. So Candace said she called 911 and then she threw her phone down in the back of Dawn's truck and got her mom's phone because her mom's phone was the only one she could get out on or whatever. Then she gets in Mom's truck and goes down the hill. So looking for Summer. So she didn't leave from top of the hill looking for Summer until after 6:30, right? Well, the 911 call dispatch was 6:26 p.m. So let's say she dialed in at 6:26 p.m. I'm assuming she was on the phone with the dispatcher for, a minute or two giving the information, and obviously didn't stay on the phone with them since Dawn says she stayed on the phone with him the whole time. I don't know, but I know she threw one of the phones down in the back of the truck because that's what she says she done. Now, I don't know that. I'm just saying that's what the story is. So she gets in Mom's truck, and Grandis, that is, and hurries down the hill to go look for Summer, and there's Jody Sue. She sees Jody Sue at the end of the driveway. She tells Jody Sue, Summer's missing, I can't find Summer. Jody Sue says, I know, I'm sorry, I heard a scream, but I'm looking. Well, unless if we can go backwards in time, there's no way that happened at 6:09, right? And something else about that right there. That right there. Jody Sue's words to her, and those words came out of Jody Sue's own mouth from her video that she made, where she told Candace she knows and she's sorry. She heard a scream. She's sorry. She didn't know, but she's looking. Well, how'd you know if you didn't know? Joseph, that doesn't make much sense. But what does make sense to me is it wasn't 6:09. Now, let's say 5:30 is the actual time.
Okay. Jody Sue, how would you know? You just automatically assume that Summer disappeared or was abducted by hearing a scream? That's what you're trying to tell us, because you're lying. There's no way. And besides, Brandy's going to prove that your time is way off, and so is Candace's. And the thing is, Jody Sue, how would you know? Why would you just say to Candace, I'm sorry, I know, I heard a scream. Really? So that is very suspect, Jody Sue. I don't care.
The first story we're given by Dawn. So, if Candace calls Dawn at 5:30, and Dawn says, hang up, call 911. So she hangs up, she calls 911. It's probably, we'll just go with 5:35. Just give her 5 minutes, hang up and dial 911. At 5:35, she dials 911. But that's not right, because the 911 dispatch is not wrong. They're correct. When
That's
they say
right.
You called, that is when you called.
That is right.
But we're going with the story Dawn gave, so if she called at 5:35, like Dawn told her to, then she threw the truck she threw the phone in the back of the truck, right? Jumps in Mom's truck, runs down the hill. At most we'll say 5:40, she's at the bottom of the hill, and there's Jody Sue. It's still not 6:09. So, whether she calls Dawn and 911 at 5:30 or 6:30, Neither time works out for her to be at the bottom of that hill at 6:09. So I have to say, Jody Sue, that 6:09 time you gave is not adding up. But, of course, nothing is adding up in this case. So why would I think that would? So a lot has happened in Summer's case since June. And as we all know, Don and Candace had got pretty friendly with a few YouTubers, right? And I would just like for you to listen to a couple clips that I've picked up along the way. During the past 10 months, Summer has been missing. Nobody has any clue where she's at, what happened to her, or who is responsible for her disappearance. Many people all over the world are concerned and care for Summer Wells. A lot of people are looking for this little girl. And in the meantime, we've got her parents pulling pranks on YouTube, doing drugs, getting drunk, having affairs, and God knows what else. Anything and everything except looking for the little girl.
I was just staring. No, man, if any one of my kids got...
Okay. Now, I just think it's very strange, this timeline that they're trying to tell here. So, now hold on. I'm not done here, because I want to show you something else. Another clip here. Okay. Hold on. Should be right up here. You know what really bugs me, you guys? That Don actually wanted to do a reenactment of his own daughter's abduction. And he even said he had a child that's willing to participate. I thought it was the most sickeningest thing and the most red flag thing that you can ever imagine, because Don Wells, that's pretty bad. How would you know, to reenact the abduction of your daughter? How would you know how it happened unless you were there, right? Unless you were the one who did it. So, I don't know. Hold on. I think I might have passed it. I think this is important, and I think you should watch this, so hold on. I just gotta go back. Sorry about that. Hold on. I'm almost there. She's got quite a few videos. And like I said, I power watched them last night. And man, I think you should too, because I think she did an amazing job, and it makes sense. And it helped me with some of the pieces together. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Come on. Get to it. Almost there, you guys. I know. Probably losing patience with me, but hold on. Right here. Okay, I'm going to take a clip from this video. I want you to see this video, and I think Brandy did a good job with this. Listen, what really happened to Summer Wells.
Speaking around to 110, 110 Bin Hill Road on the Beach Creek should be the first residence on your mind. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
She was last seen walking away from her home on Ben Hill Road, and that was the last she was seen.
The details were wrong. Misinformation was put out from the very first day of Summer going missing. That was most likely a start of a bad investigation. Summer was 5 years old when she disappeared, not 4. You just heard the news channel say that she was last seen walking away from her residence on Beach Creek Road. That is incorrect according to the official story. The official story that was given to the public by the parents and also later by the police and the media was that Summer went missing from inside their basement, inside their home. And then, in a third twist to the story, Candace, Summer's mother, comes out and publicly says that Summer was outside by her swing when she went missing. So a good start at finding a missing child would probably be to know exactly where they went missing from. I feel like, in my opinion, we have been misguided by those who claimed to have lost her. Are they suspects or are they victims? What do you think?
Okay. The whole thing, I feel like the whole thing that they gave misinformation, and Don and Candace did, not just about what she had on. They gave an older picture, and that really bugged me. So, okay, so just one more. And her channel, it's amazing because she puts out, what their other theories were, too, and how they changed. And I just think she has a great channel. So, sorry. I'll be there in just a second. I'm sorry. But yeah, they have given so much, and there's been so much misinformation, and a lot of people have put out bad information, gossip that wasn't even correct. I don't even know if Candace slept with this Roy Cotton, but who cares if she did? I mean, that's really weird is all I'm saying. And then she's crying about it. I mean, what the crap? Why would you be crying about an ex-boyfriend? Or somebody that you slept with years ago? I mean, I wouldn't care. But it seems to bother her. But, almost there, you guys. Hold on. I think I'm almost there anyways. I mean, so many good ones. You know, Jody always says she searched before the cops came. I mean, that was so strange anyways, I think. Makes me feel like she's a suspect, that's all. I mean, whatever. Jody Sue, you can get mad at everybody and talk crap and say nasty things about everyone, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. You could say nasty things about me if you want, but because I really am not going to get my feelings hurt by you, Jody Sue. I don't know if I don't think I passed it. No. Oh, right here. This one's called Candace Bly. Inconsistency lies, evil exists. 1 year ago. But there's a part of this I just want you to hear. Oops.
Police arrived.
I just gotta move it up a little bit.
Give Summer a piece of candy.
We know that part. She's talking about the time, you guys. And I think it's really important. And I think you should listen to this, okay?
Said she needs to go back home and to check on the kids, right? And so at 5:20 p.m. or about that time, could be a little earlier, at 10 till 5 even. She goes down into the basement to look for Summer, and she doesn't find Summer there. So she sends the boys down to the creek. I'm not quite sure why the creek was the first thing to come to mind. I do know Summer, loved water. But all the way down to the creek, that's pretty far. And if you look at the terrain, I'm not quite sure Summer could make it down to that creek by herself. So I don't understand why can't she send the boys down there to the creek, but she did, according to her words. She done. After the boys were gone to the creek to look for Summer, Candace calls Dawn. This is 5:30 p.m. according to her timeline, including doing laundry.
This is what she said at first.
If we take doing laundry out of this equation, that would set that phone call to Dawn all the way back to 4:30 p.m., right? Now, one thing I would like to say here is that the neighbor, Jody Sue Brown, and her son claim to have heard a scream at 4:42 or 4:52 p.m., right? Well, that coincides with right around the same time she is sending the boys to the creek, right? It coincides with the same time that all the commotion's going on, that she's supposedly looking for something in that or whatever. Is it possible that Jody Sue heard Candace screaming for Summer? Maybe so. It's possible. But is it also possible that maybe the laundry and the flowers and the candy, none of that ever happened?
Yeah.
And possibly
I never believed it.
Jody Sue could have really heard Summer screaming when maybe something more nefarious was going on during that time. I don't know. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but it is possible. Right?
Right.
So anyway, let's go back to 5:30. At 5:30, Candace calls Don. Don tells her to call 911, right? And he says he loads his tools up and heads home. That would put Don home around 6 p.m. since he said he made it home in around 25 minutes that day. The 911 call wasn't placed from Candace until 6:26 p.m. Okay? Now, listen. 6:26 p.m. That is the time the 911 call was placed. That is 1 hour after Candace called Don. It is also 26 minutes after Don gets home from work. Now, if you remember in the beginning, Don said that she called him at 5:30. He said that he left work at 5:30, and he said that he got home at 6, and that he got home first before anybody else was there. I do believe that first statement. I think he made that statement by accident, and when he realized that he had told on himself and possibly told on Candace, he changed it, because now he's saying, nope, wait a minute. It was actually 6:30 when Candace called me. 6:30, and I got home at a little after 7. Even though 911 call was at 6:26, 4 minutes before Dawn says that she called now. So that doesn't make sense either. But anyway, now, so that, that's a big discrepancy right there. There's a whole hour there that anything could have happened, anything could have been going on. If something did happen this summer at that house and it was done by, anybody in the family there, they had an hour to dispose of her before the police arrived. And so the police get there at 7:10. Now, between 7:26 and 7:10, Candace said she didn't want to wait on them. So she gets in her mom's truck and she goes down the road looking for Summer. She goes all the way down to the church one way, and then all the way back up to as far as she could go the other way. As far as she could go up in the mountain the other way. And she didn't see any cars. She didn't see any people. Nothing was going on. Nothing. Now, I mean, at this point in time, I'm sure, a little time had elapsed. And if somebody had abducted Summer, but they could have possibly gotten away by then. But if you go back to the part of her timeline where she says she sent Summer in the house and she went to help her mom with the knee brace. 2 to 10 minutes, because she says 2 minutes, but then in this video she says 5 to 10 minutes. So let's just give her 10 minutes, because I mean, you know, we'll be great. 10 minutes. If you've seen that hill, the terrain around there, I just don't believe that somebody come up there, up that mountain, through the woods, and took Summer. I just don't. Not in 10 minutes. And got away. So anyway, the main point of this video, though, was to point out the indiscrepancies in this timeline.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that's why I was sharing this, because they have changed their times on their timeline. And I want to tell you something else. I was watching, I think it was a news video, you guys. And on there, the comments on this video, everybody kept saying, look at, why is the father trying? This is at the very beginning when Summer went missing. And all these people suspected them from the beginning, because they were saying things like, I cannot believe him. Why does he want everybody to look everywhere else? Why is he trying to sell this abduction story so much? These parents are trying to make us believe that this little girl was kidnapped. And so, and their times are off. And if they even did any of those things, if Candace really even did, I don't think she did laundry after being gone early in the morning. Come on. And she acts like they took a long time to put away groceries when they only had milk and cheese, is what she said. And, but I just find it very strange that their timelines are weighing off. And you guys, I don't know which one of these two. I feel that one of them did it. Either they both know. I do think that they're covering for each other. I really do. And their timelines are really messed up. And they're not even giving us the correct answers or anything. And I was going to do a different video, but this one went kind of long. So I wanted to tell you guys a couple other things, but this is going real long. I don't even know if I can record that long. But, you know, everything's been an inconsistency from the beginning. You know, first, you know, like Brandy points out in her videos, first Candace says that Summer went missing out of the basement. Somebody had to come up there and take her out of that basement. Then Candace says she believes she was lured away, and then on her swing in the yard, that somebody, and then she said she knows for a fact somebody came up there and took her out of the yard. So, but that's not what they told us in the beginning. They told us nobody in, nobody out, all the doors were locked, and that she was down in that basement. And so, and that she would never leave the property. She would never wander away. And, you know, and plus there's been so much false information, like Summer was seen outside. She was not seen outside. That's why Brandy just showed and talked about that. Summer was not seen outside. Summer was 5 years old, not 4. And I don't even know if the parents gave the right birth date, because I was watching Don on Dr. Phil again. No, the behavior panel. And Don told him, they were asking him his kid's age, and he didn't know the kid's ages. He couldn't remember. It took him a while, and I don't even think he got it right. And then they were asking him how long he was married. He didn't remember when he got married or how long he was married. It's like these people don't remember anything. Kids, don't do drugs and don't drink alcohol because I don't care if you drink alcohol, but listen, people are losing their brains and their memories. It's ridiculous that these two, but they cover so much up that, they got to keep this story going. I'll give Candace an award if she really doesn't know anything about this, but I do not believe her. She's just as much of a manipulator and conniver as Don is. And I feel like Don's very suspicious but I feel like both of them are in agreement with each other. I wanted to tell you, first they're saying they were in Virginia working, and then somebody's saying they're in Wisconsin, and I guess Cher had Don on his channel tonight. Oh, whip-de-doo. Don only wants to go on Cher's channel. He likes Cher. He's not into Miss Daisy. That's for the girls, I think Don thinks, is to go over to Miss Daisy's. But, these two, I'm telling you guys, I truly believe that trouble's coming up the road for them. I'm not kidding you. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can show you what I wanted to show you. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. That, oh, crap. Oh. So Brandy has a video on here that says that, that talks about, sorry, I have to call my dog. Come here, Charlie. He's bothering my son. But anyways, so she talks about how somebody questioned the behavioral panel, Greg, and they said, why didn't you tell us that there was a sighting of Summer and what happened? And Candace was all upset, and that's why she had to leave the Dr. Phil show and the behavioral panel. And they said that's not true. They said that she wasn't interested in that at all. She didn't care or wanted to know about it. And so, Candace, that's really pathetic. I mean, you don't care if your daughter was spotted. They said you did not care at all. So it was only till they mentioned the cornbread mafia that you got upset. So that was a lie too, Candace and Don. But it just, it's really sad. Like, Don was talking, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Prairie Boy that one day. And talking about kids that were rescued from being trafficked. And Don doesn't say anything. Like, when I see all these kids missing that have been trafficked and then found and rescued, I'd want to know if my child was among all them kids. I mean, they don't even care. They act like they don't even care. Seriously, you guys, that they aren't interested. And they can say things once in a blue moon. They hardly ever talk about Summer anyways. But, yeah, their timeline is really messed up. And, I don't feel sorry for Candace, and I don't feel sorry for Don, and I wouldn't doubt it if they know that trouble's coming up the road for him. And that's what I heard tonight. Benny Keys was listening to Cher and Don Wells having this conversation tonight, and Don Wells was saying that they poison the kids against their kids. The kids hate them. They don't want nothing to do with them, blah, blah, blah. Well, no kidding, Don Wells and Candace. You know, your boys are actually getting real food, good food. They're in school. They can take a shower. They have a clean home, I'm sure of it. And they're being loved, and they're not being screamed at and hollered, and they're not being smacked around or hit. And they don't have to deal with drunken stone parents who may or may not be doing perverted stuff too, and having all kinds of registered SOs in the home, and drug addicts and drunks. You put Summer in harm's way. You put Summer at risk, Don and Candace. You know where she is, and you know what happened to her. And if that ain't you guys, people better start looking at, the cops better start looking a little closer. I mean, there's Jody Sue, who is feels the need to be on the internet. And you know, I don't know if you've ever heard of cases where the person who did something terrible had to be right there involved because they wanted to know what the tips are, what the police were finding out. Same thing, I'm sorry, I suspected something weird about Ernie when he came on the scene, because he's trying to tell Donna Candace he was just up the road doing another case, and then all of a sudden he hops over to Summer Wells. He's friends with these, trying to get in good with these people. It was very strange, you guys. Chase on the case, all them people were weird. And Brandy Gray actually has a video, and it shows Ernie Shell when he likes to disguise himself as a weird, creepy person. And there's another side to Ernie that I didn't even know about, and he's very strange. Sorry, but that's the truth. And there could be a lot of suspects in this case, but here's the deal. I feel like the police have suspected Donna Candace from day one. They're looking for evidence. They're looking for her body. Or to see where she is, if she was trafficked out. The thing is I feel like they believe Don and Candace are the responsible people, so they're not really looking at anyone else. And if the police suspect them, and the FBI and the TBI and all these law enforcement people suspect them, I suspect them. I have from beginning. I'm not no psychic. I'm not no anything weird stuff like that. But I can tell you something. I can read faces. I have my whole life been able to look at someone's face and read their face. It's weird. And I've also had dreams where I believe God was showing me when something bad was going to happen. I was shown when my aunt would die. Two aunts would die. My kid's grandfather. Different dreams, like not dreams, but just like an awareness of it. And I feel like that my suspicion meter or whatever hasn't really failed me too much yet. And I do believe these parents did something. They're hiding Summer somewhere. I don't know where. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that the police have enough circumstantial evidence to bring them into court because they're the last ones. They've changed their stories. They've lied. They've said things that were bad. I'm sure they got digital evidence on them, some stuff from their phone. And I want to talk about that another night. But I wanted to come on here and say hi. Like I said, I can't get into this fighting amongst creators. It's crazy. Miss Daisy's arguing with everybody. I mean, she's arguing and calling out Smiley and the lab and everyone. And everyone has a right to their personal opinion. All these people can do what they want on their channels. Smiley and Josh and them. And Miss Daisy. So if that's all you're going to do is have a platform that screams and hollers and cuts down other creators, well, you're not going to have very many people very long. And especially when Don and Candace get arrested. And I believe they will, and I believe it won't be too long. I really don't. I know I've said this before, but, you know, after so long, I feel like the police are going to move. They're just going to move. And they're going to do something about this. And, you know, they could have Don and Candace up. They could arrest them on other charges besides, you know, the disappearance of their daughter. They can bring up other charges on them and hold them in there until they start talking. But I do believe they're being watched. I do believe that we will hear something. I do feel like the police didn't do enough. The local police didn't do enough as far as making sure that, you know, that they, I don't know, that they just looked at everything real close and good. You know, they thought it was just a missing child, and they were very busy out looking for this missing child. In the meantime, you know, I think Don and Candace were the ones, and they so far have gotten away with some stuff, but I don't think they'll get away with it forever. Do you? I don't think so. They're solving crimes from 40, 50 years ago. It's amazing, you know what I mean? Just constantly I'm seeing, oh, DNA was found and this case was solved after 47 years or whatever. And thank God for it, you guys. You know, thank God for DNA, you know, and for computers and the internet, because I was watching an old crime movie tonight, and, you know, they used to have to do everything by hand. They didn't have all these computers. They didn't have all the kind of stuff we have today, and they didn't have DNA way back then. So they're finally able to solve some of these cases, put families' minds and hearts to rest, and I really want to see justice for Summer. I don't know why this little girl, I don't know why I am so passionate about covering this. I have no idea. I've never done this before in my life. I've been following the case since day one, but I've never, ever been this impassioned about a missing child. And I think that God put that on my heart. And I think he put that on a lot of people's heart. You know, like he nudged them and said, look at this girl and pray for her and keep her name out there. I think God does those kinds of things. And I think that's why a lot of creators are impassioned about this case. Some of them don't want to talk about anything else. Same as me. I'm serious about Summer Wells, and I want to see her found, and I think there's big time gaps in their timeline. I think they had time to do something. I'm really praying that the police will go back and look at stuff. Silence from the TBI is not necessarily a bad thing. They could be working on this case. I pray they are. I really do. I've seen them work in other people's cases. They seem like they do a really good job. and the FBI and the card team. So let's just keep praying for Summer Wells. And Don and Candace, I mean, you're not going nowhere. And this is always going to hang over your head because you're not telling us the whole truth. Maybe you're telling part truths, but you're not telling the whole truth. And you need to give more information, and you need to come out with this because, Candace, do the right thing by your daughter and your children. You know, both you and Don are going to have to stand before the judgment seat of God someday. You won't have to worry about the judge on earth or any kind of prison sentence because your judgment will await you at the throne room of God, and He will decide what your punishment is if you have hurt this little girl and your children. So if you want to make it right with Him before it's too late, you can always do the right thing by coming forward, Candace or Don, or any of them, or Grandis. You know, all of you know. And it's really sickening because I've never seen such people as this and such parents as this. And you can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm telling you the truth. I am just disgusted and bothered tremendously by this whole case and by Don and Candace. And poor little Summer Wells. She's been out there for all this time. And if she's still alive, I hope she's not, bad things are not happening to her. She's just a little girl. And I don't know, that Candace and Don act like she's deceased. So, I mean, if the parents do, I'm sure she probably is. And that breaks my heart. I just would like to know what happened to her. And I'd like to see her be found. And I'd like to see the people who did this get in trouble. So anyways, you guys, that's all I wanted to talk about was that dang timeline. But I'll be back again in a couple days. God bless you all. I hope you have a good week. And take it easy. Don't get in the drama. Don't let what other channels are saying about you bother ya. Big deal. You know, Miss Daisy's always complaining about something, and so is Jody Sue. I don't think she likes anybody. I think Jody Sue's the most miserable woman around. Like, she acts like she don't like a single person. She's snotty. She acts stuck up, or I don't know. It's really weird. And she acts very suspicious, so. And she's the one who inserted her in this case, her and Andy. They're very suspicious to me. They're more suspicious to me than Fred Hill or anybody else. Jody Sue and Andy. I mean, yeah, I give a little bit of leeway to Andy. Jody Sue said he was crying. He needed her to hold him that night. He was having a hard time. Why? Why, you guys? Why? What did he do? I mean, I thought, okay, maybe he's crying because he's afraid he's going to lose Jody Sue, but I really doubt that. I really doubt that because he was ready to leave her for this other woman, so I don't think he was trying to get much forgiveness from her. I just thought it was very strange the way she said she's out in the creek searching, and Andy's running late, and Andy comes home, and he's upset all night and crying and needing Jody Sue to hold him all night. Weird, you guys. That's all I can say. All these people are suspicious to me. So if Don and Candace didn't do it, I feel like Jody Sue and Andy had a hand in it. So, and these are only my opinions. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And so, don't take everything as facts. Just stating my opinion and what I believe. And Don and Candace, you better start talking. I hope the sheriff does something soon. And TBI. So, anyways, you guys, I'll talk to you later. And thank you for being here. And I love your comments. Good night.